alert! In this video, we discuss what is happening in Euphoria Season 2, Episode 6 and the previous. I'm gonna give you 8 reasons to love or to hate Euphoria. Okay, reason number 1. Do you remember in the first episode of the second season we meet a new character, Lori, a drug dealer of all drug dealers in the hood, and when she's asking Fezco about Miles, like where is Miles, he's like, I didn't like the way he did business. He's just a guy, like a schooler from the hood, and he is dealing with a tough lady, a drug dealer, and she's super serious about that, and she supplies like all the neighborhood with drugs, and he's like, I didn't like it, come on. And she has no questions about that, no questions, no problems, no consequences. How come? Like, he or she can just kill their drug dealers and be free and, you know, go and do their business? I don't believe that. Reason number 2. Well, as for Cassie and her story, that's, well, very real. That sounds real because she's a girl with, well, not very good parents, with a complicated childhood and complicated family life. Well, her father was a drug addict, and her mother really likes wine and alcohol, and yeah, so she has some problems with her relationship, and she's a girl who really believes in love, and she believes that love exists and that love exists for her, and that's all real and so natural, and you know, she believes in fairy tales and all that stuff. But at the same time, she's like kind of not really choosy when it comes to guys, and like all her boyfriends are kind of the kind of boyfriends who are going to dump her. And remember her ex, McKay? He was the guy who was ashamed to claim her, like, his girlfriend and all that stuff. And she, like, subconsciously, she chooses guys who will dump her. And, well, Nate, like, what? This is not a good choice. This is the worst choice ever, because he is the boyfriend of her best friend, and like, this is so obvious that he's gonna dump her. But, well, she is believing in this love, and she's trying, and she's trying her best, you know, to be someone better, to be a good person, to be a good friend, to be a good girlfriend, but at the same time, well, she just can't. Well, she chooses Nate, and we all know that this is not a good love story, and probably this is not a true love story, but who knows? And well, tell me in comments, like, what do you think? Is it gonna end or is it gonna last? Like, what will we have with the story of Nate and Cassie? True love and true characters. This is why I love Euphoria. Reason number 3. Remember in the second episode of the second season when Nate got beat up to death by Fezco? Like, nothing happened. Nothing really happened. Remember his face? It was smashed, and like, no questions, no answers, no investigation, no one even cared about that. How come? But remember when Maddie was all that black and blue, when Nate was trying to choke her, and they took that investigation and we saw it like through 1 or 2 whole episodes, and these episodes were dedicated to that investigation and consequences, and like, Nate was suspended from school, suspended from his team, and here he is beat up to death and nothing really happens. Like, everyone forgets about that. Like, what? Come on. No, I don't believe that. Reason number 4, Lexi. Well, she's a type of a really good girl, and she is watching all these parties going on with her friends, but she's not willing to participate in all that stuff. And Then she meets that super bad guy, Fezco, and she knows him. She knows that he's really bad, that he's a drug dealer, and yeah, so this is a type of a perfect guy for Lexi because he is like bad guy gentleman. She knows that he is bad, but at the same time, she watches that he is here sitting in front of her and talking to her like a real gentleman. And that's super perfect situation for Lexi. She got really interested because, well, this is a perfect guy for her. This is a perfect match. She can't be with just a bad guy like Nate because, well, she's a good girl and she just can't afford hooking up and, you know, partying like that. But at the same time, she cannot be with just a good guy because this is really boring for her and she's watching all the parties going on and she just wants something in the middle. And here he is, like a prince, a perfect match for her, Fezco. And well, here she watches him talking to her like a gentleman, but at the same time she watches that he smashes Nate, and she knows that, well, this is that Nate deserves that. And here, like, we watch this breaking up line, like what's going on. And tell me in comments, what do you think? What's the end of this story, and are we going to watch a relationship, a love story between Fezco and Lexi or not? What do you think? Well, I believe in this story. Reason 5. Do you remember in the 3rd episode of the 2nd season, we see this super weird conversation between Fezco and Cal? Okay, Cal came there because of his reasons. He thought that they got this disc with Jules and him, but during this conversation, well, he finds out that Fezco got really confused, but he says that he's confused. Well, we are all confused, like, why is he doing that? He sees that Fezco knows nothing about this story, and he's sitting in there and telling all these, well, super secret info just because of nothing. Fezco or Ash ain't even asking him anything about that, but he's telling all that she just because of nothing. Like, he tells that he was with Jules and he didn't know that she was 17. And when Fezco himself tells that he doesn't know anything about that shit, Cal says, I just need the disc, just give me the disc, and I didn't know that she was 17, and like, why is he doing that? And he's sitting in there digging his own grave. Like, why say all these things? He is not even asked about them. And you know, he was a character who is really accurate about his things, and he was doing that for his whole life. He has the whole system of discs and no one knows about that. He had so many affairs like that, so many discs, and now he's sitting in there and just, you know, just gives that info for nothing. All he's doing is just, you know, asking them to let him leave. So that was super weird, and this is nothing like his character. So this is too unexpected, too weird, and we are all really confused. I don't believe that. Reason number 6. This whole story with Leslie and Gia, Rue's mom and Rue's sister, this is super real, and you know, this is so bad and so good at the same time, because these two characters, I mean Leslie and Gia, they are in such a bad and complicated situation. Gia is well, she is really young and she can't do anything with that situation. She cannot influence Rue. She cannot influence her mom, and she's between them, and she's trying to protect Rue, and she just can't understand her feelings as well because she's her sister, and they are all in this situation that they lost their dad, and that's also super complicated. So she feels these feelings for Rue, and she understands her feelings, but at the same time she understands her mother because, well, they both know that Rue is a drug addict, and they both are trying to help her, and they are doing their best. And mom, well, of course we do understand this character because we see her as a very good mother who is trying to protect her child and who's trying her best to help her stop being a drug addict. And so she is always with her no matter what. So we see that Rue is very rude and mean with her mom, but well, her mother, she's a really good person, a really good mother, and we see all this support from her, and she cannot, just spread all this love only to Rue because she has her another child, another daughter. She has Gia, and she knows that Gia is also in a complicated situation about her dad and about Rue, and she's there just doing her stuff, and she's doing it really, really well. And so we feel there's love and support for these characters, and this is why I love Euphoria. Reason number 7. In the 5th episode, we see this pursuit of Rue and policemen, and can you feel this cartoon vibe a little bit? Well, we are watching this fun story, this fun pursuit when she falls into cactus, and then she is ruining someone's party, and then we see her kidneys hurt, but she is running from prepared policemen, and she's limping, but still she's doing well. And this is like a system of cliches that we see in a cartoon or something like that. And then in someone's house, she guesses the safe code. How come this happens? Like 1111, or what was that? And in the end, she got hiding in a trash bin, and policemen didn't notice her. Okay, so we do appreciate this fun cartoon story, but I don't believe that. Reason number 8. In episode 5, we see a very true and complicated story of Rue and how she is suffering all this stuff with drugs. And this is a classy drug addict story when we see a person who is dealing with all this stuff, and she lies to everyone. She lies to her mom, she lies to her sister, she lies to Jules, to her friends, and to herself. And when Elliot and Jules reveal this lie, this story, she is starting to protect herself and to blame everyone around her. She's trying to show that everyone got their own shit, and she's not the one here, and she's not the one to blame. And she is starting, to reveal someone else's bad things, someone else's lies. And here, in the house of Cassie, we see that, Cassie got into a really bad situation for her, and she was there trying to help Rue. But so here Rue is trying to reveal Cassie's lie, and she is telling about Cassie hooking up her best friend's boyfriend, Nate, and this is not the one thing that Rue is trying to reveal. She offended Ellie as well, and she just used the info, the secret info that he told her. Well, she used that info in her own interests. So she was trying also to protect herself and to blame someone else. And she offended Ellie. Well, Ellie is her sponsor, and he's a really good guy that is trying to help not only Rue, but her whole family, her sister and her mother. And he's a really good character, and she offended him. And yeah, so this is a class story that shows us the drug addict behavior and how they change, you know, because of drugs. They change a lot. Like, well, this is an entirely different person. She starts lying, she starts being a thief and doing these bad things to her closest people. And well, yeah, I believe in it. And actually, Rue is the main character here in this series, and this shows a real true story and true character development. So we see the suffering, the struggling of her character, and this seems, well, really real. I do believe. What are your reasons to love and to hate Euphoria? Let me know in comments.